Morning guys, John Jones and Hayley Jones from the Reddish Rascals. Just a quick video that I promised you last week for planting seeds, what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to be doing it, and giving you a little bit of advice on what containers you can use and how to move forward at home. I hope you enjoy what you see, and go to our YouTube page and subscribe, like and follow us. Leave a comment if it's been useful at all, and take it from there. So onwards and upwards, I'll show you what we've got. So guys, these are our 60 cell containers which we buy from Container Wise, Charles Downan's. They're multi-cells. We have a third tray and they're from B&Q, and then we have a full seed tray. They're also from B&Q. And then we've got these two. So we've got our toilet rolls from home, which I'm going to fill with compost in a minute and show you. And then we've got a homemade windowsill propagator, which is an old bottle of tonic water. And I'm going to show you how to turn this into a mini windowsill propagator, and how we do it, and how you can use it at home if you haven't got a greenhouse to start your seeds off. And hope you like what you see. Okay, so guys, as you can see, I've had to improvise on recording this as my cameraman is at home. So for this mini propagator, you'll need a Stanley knife and your empty pop bottle, depending on what you've got. So on this one, as you can see, it has rings down it for grip. There's and where the label goes. So you want to make your first incision in this sort of thing for shallow rooted plants, i.e. beetroots, spring onions, things that you're going to plant out. If you've got deeper rooting plants like broad beans or peas even, you want to go to about halfway. But as I'm going to be showing you this with our aubergines later, I'm going to cut them about in between the two. So I'm going to use this line here as my guide. I'm going to cut all the way around, keeping fingers well out of the way of the blade. You can use this method also if you want to create slug traps in your garden. So you would fill that up with old beer or wine, bury it in the soil to ground level, and then the slugs will come in and fall in it. For now, this is going to be our pot, and this is going to be our propagator. So again, placing it on the base, about an inch up, stab in and pull down. Same again, an inch in, pull down. And we're going to do 4 of these cuts. So when you fill up, 1 second while I just fill this with some compost. Sorry, before I do that, I should have said to make small slits in the shape of a cross in the bottom, as so. And this will aid with drainage, so you will need to put this on a saucer or a small plate, as water will drip out of your over water. So fill your compost up till it's about 4 or 5 centimeters. Yeah, 4 to 5 centimeters below your pot, so when you water, it doesn't overflow too much. When you plant your seeds, you'll be able to see the roots growing through the clear plastic. And then with the slots you've done, this will slide over like so. You can take the top off so that condensation doesn't come in, and place that on your windowsill, and that's like a mini greenhouse. Overnight you can put the cap on to keep more warm air in, and then take it out of a day to let the air out. If it needs watering, you can tell by just giving it a little tap in to about that depth. If it comes out clean, it needs water. If it doesn't, but please be careful. Try and make sure that wherever you're testing for water isn't where you put your seeds. And hope you enjoyed that little informative video on how to make homemade propagators, and then we'll go onto the next video of planting seeds and stuff. Okay, so guys, this is my seed station now. So we have our homemade propagator, which I'm going to do 3 of the aubergine black beauty in, which only has 12 seeds in, and I'm going to put the other 9 in this small tray with a shop bought propagator on the top to see how they go, because aubergines need quite a lot of heat. We've got the big seed tray here for our mixed leaf salad, which is like a cut and come again. So when it grows, you can cut it down and it'll grow back. Do them every so often as well, so we have nice fresh salad all the way through the year if we can. If you know a local restaurant or that uses a lot of mushrooms in their food that they produce, you can always ask them for the mushroom trays. Line it with some black plastic and fill it up with pot and compost, and then you don't even have to buy the seed trays, you just need the pot and compost. Great way of doing it is with old compost bags like this. Cut them up, use a black piece on the inside, put some holes in it for drainage, and then fill it with compost, and then plant your seeds. These are the 4 different types of beetroot I'm going to try and grow. So there's a mixed beetroot, a Detroit, and a Bolt Hardy, and this one is called cylindrical, which is a long thin beetroot which I've never tried before. We've got 2 different types of turnip. We've got Snowball, which is white, and then purple top Milan, which is a usual purple and white. And I've got 2 lots of spring onions, which is Old Faithful White Lisbon, and a new one called Red Toga. We have our sweet peas, and we also have our ambassador peas, which are going to go into the toilet roll tubes, as when they grow they can just be planted straight directly into the soil or into your hanging baskets if you don't have it, or your pots at home, straight in the soil. And these are biodegradable because they're only cardboard, so the roots will eventually grow out or grow down through them. And same for the peas, and it keeps them under their gaze from the wood pigeons who like to pick out the tops. While I'm also doing this a little bit, these, as most of you were watching last week, were potted on, and don't they look really good now? They're starting to all perk up and look really fresh. These are the onions, and they're what remains of the other cabbages and collies and stuff. I've still got to pot these ones on, but what I'll do is I'll get these ready and I'll come back to you. Okay, also make sure you write your labels before you start, so it's easier to just plop them in and then you don't have to worry. Okay guys, as you can see, this is an aubergine seed. There's another one, and there's one more. So there's the 3 in there on this tray. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there was an extra one, so we've got 1 extra out of the seed packet, so I'm very happy about that. and we'll see what the germination's like. These are the sweet peas. I've done between 3 and 4 seeds in each of the pots, and the peas I put, as you can see, 3 in each. There is 3 in that one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you now how small the seeds are on salad leaf. This is quite tricky because I've only got one hand because I'm filming with the other. So in our seed packet, which I've used last year, I've folded it up nice and tight so that air and moisture especially doesn't get into the seed packet. And these are the seeds, the lettuce. See how small they are? But because we're doing a come and chop again seeds, we want quite a lot. A few fell out there. And so that tray there, that tray, the sweet peas, the peas and the mini propagator aubergine, I'm going to give a light dusting with some sieved compost so that there's hardly any lumps in it, and then I'm going to gently pat it all down and then leave it. I'm not going to even water it because I've watered all the pots and trays beforehand, even the toilet roll tubes, so that they're all nice and moist. And then when the compost goes on, they'll have firm them down and they'll have contact with the moisture below. So especially like the peas, I might give a little light watering because they need to swell up. Last year, if I was planting them directly into the ground, I'd soak them in water for 24 hours and then plant them out so that they've got the best chance going. But because I'm doing them inside and I'll be watering them, I'll be able to keep an eye on them. So I'm gonna lightly dust these with some compost now, and I'll show you what the results look like in a minute. So guys, as you can see, I've sieved the soil over the top, the compost I mean, and firmed them all down. I said I might water the peas and the sweet peas. As I've been pushing down the soil, I can feel the moisture already coming through from the base, so I'm just going to leave them all now. I'm going to move these so that I can crack on with putting the seeds into the modules. So you can see I made little holes in with a dibber. You can either use a pencil or a proper dibber depending on what you have available. Doesn't have to cost you a lot. Lolly ice sticks, or as my wife says, ice lolly sticks. You can keep them. I got these ones which are like doctor's depressors ones, so that they're a bit bigger, because I find it's easier to write on when I'm trying to put them in. So I'm going to put this back together now and put it into its position in the other greenhouse, and same with that one in the propagator. I'm going to put the lid on that, and I'm going to move these to a different position now. Okay, and then I'll show you what it looks like with onion seeds and beetroot seeds, so that you know what they look like and how we move forward with them. Okay. Hi guys, just had a thought of the pea seeds that I've been using last year's, and I do have fresher ones for later on in the season and a different variety too. So what I've done is I've got this small tray, a third tray or a half, whichever way you want to. I'm going to just sprinkle the remainder of the seeds onto this tray, and I'm going to try and run them out, because they do run quite easily, peas, because they're quite cylindrical, round, even. So all I'm going to do is do that, press them in, because this has been watered, and then I'm going to put a very small amount of sieved compost. If you haven't got anything to sieve your compost with, just break it up with your fingers. Any big bits, just remove like bits of twigs and stuff which come out of quite a lot, even stones. And what I'm going to use these for is the salad leaf that I've just sown. These are going to be pea shoots to go into the salad, so salad mix, so we have really fresh peas in there. As you can see, they're not all completely covered. I'm going to give them a little bit more on the ones that aren't there. There's only a few along the edge. press them down and leave them now, and then when they're about this high, just cut them all off, and then they will regrow again with more shoots, so they just keep on coming. So that's that one for now, and I'm going to show you the seeds in a minute for them trays. So guys, I've done this little demonstration of what sort of size the seeds are. So these are the red spring onions, these are the white Lisbon white onions. See how tiny the turnip snowballs are, and also the purple Milan, they're also really tiny. If you compare it to my fingertip, that's how small they are. These are the Bolt Hardy beetroot, which are like a cluster seed, even though you only seem to get one plant from each cluster, but that's what they do. And this is also the cylindrical, which is quite a bigger seed. I'm not going to do the other two beetroots because they're all very similar in size and shape. So in each of these module trays, I'm going to try and put 3 of the beetroot in each one. I'm going to try and do 3 to 4 of the turnips, but as you can see, with them being so small and tricky to sow, same as the spring onions, I'm going to try and do them. I might do them in bunches of 4 or 5 actually, because they'll be fine that way. Even the turnips, if 4 or 5 go in, it's not going to make much difference, you just get smaller turnips. So I'm going to plant all these into these and then lightly cover them with compost, and the finished result will just look like a tray full of compost. And that's it for this week from the Reddish Rascals, John Paul and Hayley Jones. Speak to you again soon. Goodbye.